Inkanyezi is a learner program that is funded in partnership between Zenex Foundation, Bank CETA and the Michael and Susan Dell Foundation. And we've been working in 11 schools. What started out with a 5-year program has been extended to a 7-year program. And we basically are working with putting learners into well-performing public schools and offering them a bursary of support, and then helping the schools to run a program that academically and supports learners and provides socio-psycho support to the learners. Because the main aim of the program was to provide learners who would not previously have had the opportunity to attend the schools that they're currently enrolled in.
We are serving an area that is a microcosm at times of the Cape Flats, where drugs, alcohol abuse, gangsterism is extremely rife. So that's the challenge that we have, that kids come from disadvantaged background, kids come from dysfunctional families. But our mission is to instill a sense of pride, that they must not blame their circumstances for their achievement. I think to change disadvantaged schools into high-performing schools is obviously a complex process, and it's an ongoing challenge. They work extremely hard, they're extremely passionate, they're extremely dedicated, but they have their own challenges. So our challenge is to try and meet that gap between a primary school child and a grade 8 learner as soon and as fast as possible. 4 years later, these children are in matric, and the challenge is to make sure they are ready for matric.
So the difference I think is with the Zenex Foundation, they're not merely focusing on the academic side. They've looked at the child holistically, and over time have built a program that supports the child holistically. So we, in addition to offering the counselling, they also provide the children wonderful opportunities for extension, such as activity camps or taking them to drama shows, or just generally giving the children a wonderful experience. And I think that's really made quite a difference to the whole development of the child. They've grown in confidence, and they've been exposed to things that they previously would never have been able to be exposed to. I think the impact is felt on various levels. I mean, for me, I think the impact on the individual and obviously the family or the community within which their child finds herself or himself are really impacted on. Having spoken to some of the teachers and just sharing their experiences, they just feel rejuvenated by the focus that we've brought in the program and by how the children have reacted. The schools, I think, have benefited from that. Some of them in terms of actually getting materials and resources, which they previously would not have had. But just the teachers' enthusiasm has been sparked again, and I think that's invaluable within a school context. There have been a couple of challenges, and obviously at various levels. I think for me, the thing that's really brought to light is what the children of today face with, especially learners from poor socioeconomic backgrounds, or who come from schools where perhaps they've been at a sort of lower level academically. And now they've suddenly have to get to pace, and for high school has been at quite a rapid pace. So those learners have really faced academic challenges in terms of catching up, and they're not only catching up but trying to excel and exceed expectations in the field of math, science and English. I mean, from my side, obviously just to thank the Zenex Foundation and the partners, the funding partners, because I think they've created a wonderful opportunity for the schools and obviously for the individual learners that have been on the program. But my hat really goes off to the schools themselves, because they've done marvelously. They've taken the project on board, and they have really bent over to try and accommodate everything that we've tried, considering that Inkanyezi is a pilot project and that we were going to test out different things. And they've been willing partners all the way, and have also enriched the program by adding value and by giving us some guidance on what we could do to do things a little differently.
My vision out there also is to remind the barons of industry that this country is still a country of two worlds, the haves and the have-nots. And schools like Mbilo were previously disadvantaged and are still disadvantaged. And there are very few companies like Zenex and the Susan and Michael Dell Foundation and Bank CETA that have the courage to come into so-called black disadvantaged schools and put money into them. And if the people I work with reflect Zenex humanity, reflect Zenex commitments and Zenex dream of changing things out of there, Zenex has done remarkably well in who they've chosen to run this project. I can't thank them enough.